Welcome everybody. Episode 7 of the latest. Exciting times, Brad. We're just talking about Christmas is next week. Can't
Yeah.
believe it. So
Yeah.
thought it might be good today to go over some of the tools, the latest tools that we have learned about this year. I think things that everybody should know about and be using in 2024, 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how was your week?
It was good. It was busy, David. As you know from our Monday session, there have been a lot of releases of tools from all the big dogs, and it's awesome. Like
Yeah,
it's just awesome the stuff you can get done. Let's jump right in, right?
let's do it. Um, yeah, do you want to kick it off? I'm gonna set up my phone so I can show that ChatGPT piece.
Yeah. The latest, the absolute latest is from OpenAI's 12 Days of Christmas that they have a phone number now. Did you see the phone number?
The 800 what was it?
1-800 ChatGPT.
What
I kind of
what
appreciate.
happens when you call it? And I'm assuming an AI answers, is that correct? Or
I think what they've done is they've used their voice to text feature and they've just rerouted the voice on that line into a blank chat window. And then you're just listening to the voice to text feature.
Hmm, that's
Someone
interesting.
like our friend Peter's Telsio, the voice over internet protocol company. I think they are using a
Yeah,
voice over internet protocol VoIP line, wrapping 1-800 ChatGPT on top of many different lines all at once. And then you're getting some, not signed in account of ChatGPT's voice to text, and then you're hearing it back.
right. And
I
that's
guess,
interesting. That's interesting for companies like Peter's. Like, is there a threat? Is that a layer he could leverage, or is ChatGPT or is OpenAI going to try to take over that business too?
I would think that ChatGPT would be using a service like Telsio,
Yes, but
right?
then can they buy it and look how, with these behemoths, can we just keep adding all these features? Because if I
Well,
keep that too, well, I then move up to the 200 a month plan.
I think the valuation I saw on ChatGPT was in the 150 billion range.
Right,
I bet you if you gave Peter 4 billion, he'd sell you Telsio.
right, exactly. But they are burning through that cash.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not undervaluing Peter's company. I just mean like there's a number where he'd be like, amazing, thank you. I will sell you
Oh,
the company for many
yeah,
billions of dollars. That's just life. And I think that's how those companies operate, is they go out and purchase at market value these companies.
for sure. All right. Well, yeah, we could get rolling. Some of the things which I did want to show what I told you I was doing with creating the having ChatGPT help me with a WordPress site with the camera function. So let me share that. And I think if I share my iPhone here, it
Yeah.
should work.
While you're doing that, I'm loading the Notebook LM stuff. So that's why I was dragging my feet there. I was like, oh, maybe it'll load up
Yeah.
by the time I talk here.
No. Good. So here, what I'm doing now is using the video feature in ChatGPT to really helped me with some help I was giving my attorney with his website. So let me show you. So first of all, we do have the Santa voice. So Santa, thank you. I would like your help with this WordPress site.
Now, the black button in the bottom right-hand corner, does that button have a name? Have we named that button yet?
No, yeah, I think when it's vertical, they call it like a hamburger. When
Right,
it's sideways, yeah, I don't know. I call it the black button.
right. Like I'm gonna try on mine while you're doing that and see if there's a name for it, because that would be good that we could refer to that, because I think you have to push that black button to activate some of the new features.
Yeah. And you know what?
Yeah.
I'm getting a fail here because it doesn't seem to be showing on the screen what I'm seeing on my phone.
Oh, maybe you unplug, replug?
Yeah, it usually works.
Yeah.
So let me just reshare.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so what
Okay.
I did below is I shared the camera. I shared the camera, and let me move this over to the side so I can see the website.
Right.
I'm say not now on this. Oh, maybe do need to trust this computer.
Right. So
Uh,
you started out, can you start out again so we can show the audience who's never like these are brand new tools. These are a couple days
yeah,
old.
oh, totally. So
So you
let
push the black button to
right.
get
So
it
I
started.
start off. I push the. Hopefully, you can still see my phone. I push the black button down here.
Yeah.
Now I'm saying, "Hi, chat. Can you hear me?"
You might have to unplug and replug it. It froze.
Yeah, it is freezing. That's weird.
Mm.
Right, we're trying to do our live demo.
But
Okay.
that's a Zoom
Oh,
connection issue. That's not a ChatGPT issue.
right. Oh, the Zoom connection froze. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. So Santa, are you here? Can you hear me? Am I good now though, Brad? Or is it I
No,
gotta
no, no. Your ChatGPT froze. This is what happens when you run things live is you get some live demos.
hopefully we're giving the user the experience they like. Okay, as you see, poor connection. So living in a rural
Oh,
area, sometimes this happens.
oh, gotcha.
So I'm gonna stop this.
Yeah, no, you got it now. Now it's working.
Yeah. And now I'm gonna say hello, chat. I would like some help with the WordPress page I was working on for Alan Hutkin's law firm. Can you help me with that this morning? You don't want to be too talkative today,
Mm.
chat, do you? Okay, I'm assuming you can hear me. I may have to get this fixed, but let me just show, and I can just walk through it. What you're able to do with this new camera feature that was very helpful for me over the weekend as I was helping Hutkin Law Firm based up here in San Luis Obispo with their website. I'm somewhat savvy on WordPress, but a lot of times I'll run into issues. So I can now, with the camera feature, show chat what I'm doing and say, um, chat, I need help with this website. I'm looking to add an attorney and make this attorney third attorney web clickable. How would I do that? He's not too talkative this morning. Anyway, but essentially he was walking me through when I added a page. I added this page all by myself, added this third attorney, Donald, added Donald's page, right? Put in,
Mhm.
he wasn't able to help me with a headshot for Donald. He's out of town right now, but at least putting the picture in, structuring everything, and just walking me through it. I thought that was a great way to use the camera. As to where in the was when I first saw the camera feature, it's like, oh, what's that? What's this kind of fun stuff? But this was like a real world application I was able to use it from. And I'm excited to use this as CES because then walking around, oh, what's this device? Can you save that for me? Right?
Mhm.
Anyway, so those are some of the things. That's been my main thing this week. It actually had me run out of usage.
Okay.
So I had to last. It was like 10 to midnight too. But then when I woke up in the morning, it reset. So
Oh, I haven't run into that yet. I didn't know that they limit the number of live minutes of video.
I guess they do. I didn't realize either. But all of a sudden, it just said you've hit your max. Come back tomorrow or something to that effect.
Okay, all right. Well, while we wait for Notebook LM to load,
Yeah.
let's look at ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I think you see it there. It says test one.
Yep.
Okay, cool. We'll close that. So, um, let's have a look at this. Tell me the
Make it a little larger, Brad, maybe.
sure.
There we go. Perfect.
Tell me the latest in ChatGPT, right? And it'll give us an answer. I like how different people use different words to say the way the tool responds. It's firing it up, or it's making, or creating, or baking, or answering, or pinging. There's all these fun words. So, regardless of the text on the screen, what I wanted to show is when you highlight something in the answer, let's say I highlight this line, this black reply button pops up now, all right, the quote marks. I can click that quote mark, and now it's going to respond here. And I could say, is this true? Right? The response from ChatGPT was that on this date, the company introduced this new feature. And then what they've done, not only is they've responded that it is or isn't true, they've given me sources. So now I have web links that I can go back. One is their own website, one is InfoWorld with dates and more information. And there's a sources button. If I click that sources button, I get a panel of citations, and those citations are clickable. And there are a bunch of different websites here. So it's The Verge, the news site, InfoWorld, Synthesia, TechCrunch, etc. So with that, you can sort of fact check in the moment because people are pointing out, and very rightly so, that these tools are not perfect. Right? They aren't meant to be perfect. And I emphasize this, you might have heard me say this, but for anyone who's new to this concept, these are language models, not fact models. They are
Right.
meant to model language. It's sort of like a guessing game. Guess what's next? And the idea is that if the probability is over 70 or 80%, it should be right 80% of the time. And when you see those overly detailed graphs of this model from Meta Facebook Llama, and this model from Gemini Google, and this model from OpenAI ChatGPT, and this model from Anthropic Claude. Essentially, different sets of computer programmers have bet that they can get 70% accurate, 80% accurate, 90% accurate of what you're searching for. And they're all chasing that benchmark of new features, like you just showed, video. But they're language models. They're meant to say, based on yesterday and before, people who said these 5 words, the sixth word was this. And they've gotten
Right.
so good at it that they can impress nearly every human being alive, which I'm impressed. I'm continually impressed with it. But I know it's a language model, not a fact model.
For sure. And are you able to? Because I love that it referenced InfoWorld. We
Yeah.
had our first witty magazine with InfoWorld in 97. So that's
Oh,
like
wow.
a veteran, oh, that's a, very well respected publication. And then I think I saw TechCrunch and a couple of others in there.
Yeah.
Can you create it so it's because maybe you want to put in Wall Street Journal, New York Times, IDG with InfoWorld, right? Like, I don't, can you restrict what it's searching? Because it could also give you some, I guess hallucinations within the facts too. Or do you feel like it's always just kind of pulling in credible sources?
Well, let's try that. Can I restrict you to search Wall Street Journal and New York Times and WashPo and East Coast liberal outlets, right? Let's try to give it a bias
Right.
and then redo the above search with sources. So we'll even see if it's possible, right? I don't want to trick it, so I'm tricking it into this or that because that's not the way. The way is to just be candid with it and say, I want you to do this. So we're not really focusing on the words. We're focusing on if the answers came from those places. So they went Wall Street Journal. And then here is recent developments from Wall Street Journal. And here's the sources on the side. Well, did I get
So then for the
one?
sources on the side,
It did Wall Street Journal.
yeah.
There might be paywalls on the other publications. So let's redo.
Which I think there is on Wall Street Journal too, right? So that's interesting. It was able to do it.
Yeah, with at least 5 sources that aren't Wikipedia. Hopefully non-paywall sites, websites, right? But essentially, you just gave it the guardrail. I typed it in of Wall Street Journal, and it did that. Um, Now it gave The Verge, OpenAI, Wired, right? And here's our sources, TechCrunch. So I guess you can start to use this as sort of like a librarian. And you can tell the librarian, I need it from this publication or from this, qualification. But I intentionally put East Coast liberal outlets because I wanted to see if it would tell me, oh, I don't get political, or if it would say, you got it.
Right. So did it, and it didn't tell you it wouldn't do it, right? But did it just not do it?
It didn't, seemingly. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know that those publications have labeled themselves East Coast liberal. I don't know that that's like a classification that it can easily find. The goal isn't to challenge ChatGPT because you might spend more time challenging it than getting good results. The goal is to think, what has some other person put into the internet that it easily finds what I'm looking for? The tools will best get you things that are out there. It's like a librarian. You can't go to the librarian and be like, "Can you go write me a book about me?" The librarian's like, "I can go get you a book that's already written." Right? And ChatGPT can go get you a collection of words that are already out there. So when you want to know about a topic, it's going to other people's articles and gathering you the type of information you've requested amongst that group of information. It's not just making it up. This fictional idea that it's got its own mind and its own agenda is a marketing tool that people use to garner attention because some people are interested in the knowledge, some people are interested in the social impact, some people are interested in the financial impact, and some people are interested in creating the buzz. And the buzz includes the sci-fi story that your toaster is gonna take over the world. That's just not true. So, on that note,
Crazy.
intentionally, let's pivot over humorously to
Yeah.
AGI. I saw a YouTube video, someone was demonstrating the Notebook LM tool, which we'll zoom right in. Notebook is a Google Accounts tool. You can sign in for free. It says, "Welcome to Notebook LM." It's the language model and a notebook. So you're going to keep some notes and use a notebook. You can create a new notebook with a click on the blue button here. You can upload sources, drag and drop, Google Docs, Google Slides. You can give it a website. You can give it a YouTube video. You can copy text. And you can give it up to 300 documents, which is cool, right? What I did was I asked ChatGPT to talk about AGI, which is the idea that a computer will reach the general intelligence of a person. Um, and what it did, if you've seen this before, there's the audio. Maybe I can do this here. No, if I let me show you one, maybe here. I can click audio overview. So if I give any information, right, and I click the audio overview button, it's a one click, it's a free usage. It will create a tool. It will look like this. It'll say generating conversation. This may take a few minutes. That's what I was waiting for. And once it's done, it looks like this. There's a play button. There's a duration. This one's 14 minutes. And it's two different voices talking. All right. What's new? I guess I'll share it again with the audio and optimize for video, share sound. What happens here is that the same two voices every time. Um, where did the video go? You're still there, David? Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah, sorry, my video of you just moved off one of my screens, and so I can't see you
That's
at
all
all.
right. Yeah, it could be it's raining up here, I think.
Um, no, I'm gonna reshare just because it went somewhere weird. I don't know where it went.
Here I am.
There we go. Okay. Um, Yeah. So, oh, I think I'm in full screen or something. A little technical glitch here. I
You
can't
can go
see.
you can go up to the upper right on Zoom to view and go to side by side, maybe. Or since you're already sharing, I'm not sure what it's gonna look like.
Yeah. Oh, right now I can't see this is part of the challenges and joys of doing a live is I couldn't see which screen I was sharing even. Um,
You're showing kind of the Google results, but it looked like ChatGPT.
oh, I shared my whole screen. That's why. That's why. I just clicked the wrong button.
Right.
Pardon me. So when you're in Notebook LM, you get this whatever, 5, 10, 15, 20. I think people have got up to 45 minutes. If you put a lot of content in, you get it. You get the same two voices. It's a man and a woman, and they have a back and forth radio dialogue, which we'll play a couple seconds of, which is cool. Oh my gosh, did it just oh here it is, right?
Okay, so imagine like machines that can actually like think, not just, crunch numbers, but solve problems, learn new things, maybe even, come up with their own ideas.
That's the big dream, right? Artificial general intelligence, AGI.
And that's what we're going to really get into today. We've got this whole stack of stuff, articles, some.
So the neat thing about this new feature, right? You can see it's in beta mode, which is a code word for test or new. When I click this interactive mode, I'm going to use my voice. I'm going to talk to that playlist of thoughts, right? Because that's what that is. It's a playlist of thoughts. They the tool has gathered the information I've given it. It's created a ChatGPT response or a Gemini response in text. It's fed that text into a voice program with a man's voice and a woman's voice. And then the program has created a variation of pace of speaking. So these radio hosts all of a sudden pause and talk slow. That's just like a slider that Google has not yet shown the user, but it's like a parlor trick. It's not magic. And so what's going to happen when I interrupt it, I'm going to start to talk and it's going to respond to me with the context of that playlist. So it's going to talk back to me. I'll get it to say good morning to the listeners of the latest. So I clicked interactive mode beta and I'm going to click the join button, right? So you're going to join the podcast.
Oh, hey, our listener wants to join in. What's up?
Hey, it's Brad and David here from the latest podcast. Can you say hi to the listeners of the latest podcast?
Well, hello, Brad and David, and a big hello to all the listeners tuning in.
Yeah, it's great to have you all with us. We appreciate you joining our deep dive.
So today we're jumping into the wild world of artificial general intelligence, or AGI. We're going to unpack what's going on with that.
We'll explore some interesting research and expert predictions and
I
That's
love
what
that,
that looks.
Adam. Can I talk to them? Because I'd love to hear about Willow, if they have any inside information for us about Willow.
Well, let's see if we can do that here. I'll share again.
I mean, you can ask it. Maybe it has to come from you. And I think our listeners would like to hear it too.
Oh, hey there, what's up?
Hey, David has a question here about Willow. Go for it, David.
Yeah, anything you could tell us about Willow?
Hey,
I
yeah,
live close
what's
to
up?
Santa Barbara. Yeah, I live close to Santa Barbara,
Oh,
and I
go
heard
for it.
that's I heard that's a new effort that's
Oh,
been going
yeah,
on. What can we expect to see out of Willow?
Yep, go on.
David was talking about living in Santa Barbara close to Willow. Could you hear him?
Oh, okay, so it sounds like you're talking about a specific person and location from our earlier conversation.
Yeah, it sounds like you're making a connection between the idea of Lucky and where David might live.
What's interesting here.
Yeah. We'll stop that for a second. It's still in beta. It's still coming, but I think the idea of doing that is astounding. I think because we were doing it across Zoom, might have gave it a little glitch.
Yeah,
We had
phenomenal.
success with it Monday night, and I think you'll have success with it too. It's a fun tool. You don't just have to go on to big brainy topics like artificial general intelligence. I think you could give it your family tree. You could give it a set of people you could probably give it a database of people in your organization or people in your group and just say like, hey, who's coming over on Tuesday? Um, it's a pretty cool feature.
Yeah. No, that's amazing, Brad. Um, Unreal. And
Yeah.
just more, I mean, this is the latest, and I think we'll do a couple more shows before the end of the year. I think reviewing some of it. I do, while it seems like there's more and more coming out, I feel like we've been solid in different categories. What to use for what, rather than, oh, here's six you may want to check out, right? It was kind of a wide range when we first started these a few years ago, or just not the show, but just as you and I have been working together on think tanks and live shows to help all our community members stay current.
I want to add one more thing about what we were just looking at, which was the podcast. So where are we here? We're in with so many windows open, they all look the same. And this one is from 11 Labs. I think this is it right here. Yeah. Okay. So 11 Labs is another software. You can use it for free. You can speak into it, and it can clone your voice with your permission so that you can type in what you want it to say, and it'll output all of that in a clean, easy audio. That's easy to understand in today's terms. What it has that's new, right? We're in 11labs.io. It's not always .com. This one's 11labs.io. And on their side menu, you can create a handful of things. You can have conversations in different ways. But then there's workflows, this project, right? It's a paid feature of all the tools I pay for. I don't pay for this one yet. For $5, right? So it's not a lot of money to try it. For $5 a month, and I think you can just subscribe for 1 month, you can get 30 minutes of audio. But what you can do in the 11 Labs projects is you can get your own voice, David, in the podcast. So it could be your voice saying the podcast script, and it's a two-person podcast. So you can say, I want voice one to be me, and I want voice two to be either from a list of 11 Labs voices, or I believe a second voice from your list.
Wow.
Which means you could start to output YouTube videos that are conversational that you can then edit. That's the thing with this is you can go in and say, all right, that's not true. That's too wordy. That's not detailed enough. So just be aware these tools exist. I'm never promoting the software to go and buy or try. I'm just saying that this stuff is out there. So right now, for $5 and a little bit of effort, you could have a 30-minute podcast with two voices that are real people's voices. Like this world is changing at such a hyper speed. It's almost like you have to be comfortable moving in 6-week chunks and going, okay, for the next 6 weeks, we're just going to use these two softwares. We're going to pay $20 for them. We're going to try them out. We're going to do 1 6-week run with them. And at the end of 6 weeks, we're going to spend 2 days, learn new software. It might cost less and get us further. But I think that for 2025, my big prediction is you might start moving in 6-week strides and say, we're going to work on one project with 11 labs and project mode. It'll cost us $10. And you go, you know what? That's not bad. I can't imagine any business worth doing that doesn't have $10. Otherwise, you're in scare mode, and you shouldn't be. You should be. I don't know what you should be. I don't know someone who doesn't have $10 if they're trying to do business.
Totally, Brad. But I think also it's like, look, they don't, and also they don't have to feel like they have to try everything, right? Some of our users have very specific goals for personal, for business.
Yeah.
So they just really need to figure out what their goals are and then watch the latest, come to our sessions during the week, figure out what they need to get the job done.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, certainly many of my friends I talk to, it's like, it's too much. I'm not
Yeah.
stepping because it's too much. It's like, no, let's use this. What are you trying to do?
Yep.
Use Gamma, use ChatGPT, and then maybe you'll do a notebook or two. That's it. And then we'll keep you focused, right?
I had that phone call last night. A very good friend of mine, they said, when you come over, you can show us in person, but they said, right now I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But my response back was, your competition is going to be using this stuff.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
they just are. And those are the people that need the competitive advantage. They're going to be like, well, let's try it. Let's just put out a YouTube video of two people talking that sounds enough like me that people go, oh, that's Brad and David talking. I mean, this is clearly us. Let's, pick up some objects here that you can see didn't get programmed in by.
Hey, I would have done that. No, I hear you. Um,
We
right.
didn't touch on the video software, David. Google has VO2, ChatGPT has Sora. There's a couple of other ones that are doing astounding text to video. Do we have time
Nice.
for
All right,
that?
let's do that next week.
Let's do that next week. Can we flash a little preview?
The show, go a little teaser. Teaser's always good.
So this is VO2, and people are claiming it beats OpenAI's Sora. I'm going to mute this because I don't know who's making it. But this video says Google has made this new tool. I would have liked if we just got straight from Google.
Wow.
But like, look at this. That's Sora. I saw one. Look at this. This woman's rubbing a soap bar on her face. These are fish flying in the air. Okay, right, not bad. There was one of slicing a tomato. Let's see if we can get it. See if we can get it. But we need VO2 in there. That's the thing. You might get too many other things. Here we go. This is the one. Check this out. It's 9 seconds. Look at that. VO2 is on the top. That's Google. That is an AI image of a person slicing a tomato. If we refresh that. On the bottom is Sora. You can see that the knife goes through their fingers. The tomato doesn't move. The tomato looks squishy and rubbery. But on top, the tomato slice falls down.
Oh my God.
And the third slice falls down. And it goes in for a fourth slice. Like that, just being aware that that is now real, that someone can type in person slicing a tomato, and the second slice, the third slice, and the fourth slice will fall. There are tools now that you can direct where the action happens. I saw one, it was a person in a Spider-Man costume in a park next to a bench, and with an arrow, they just drew an arrow up onto the bench, and the person in the Spider-Man costume stood up and sat on the bench. And it looked proportionate. Their limbs and body motion looked natural, given that it's artificial. I think we have to be prepared that in 2025, the speed of these tools might exceed our ability to be tricked. I think we're going to be tricked. And I think we're going to be tricked at a regular interval with people's voices, with people's videos, with people's pictures. There's so much that's the latest. We don't want to overwhelm you, but like that's just like a fraction of what I've seen this week.
Wow, Brad, that's mind-blowing.
Have you seen that? Have you seen the power of that VO2? Was that fresh for you?
No, first time I saw it.
I saw that yesterday. I mean, like these things are like 12 hours old. These are not like someone's months ahead of you. These are from like 3 days ago. There's so much to learn.
And what does yesterday see? I mean, yesterday seems like, a week ago.
And 2 years ago, David, 2 years ago, ChatGPT became a public word that it was just a novelty. It was just a novelty. You're like, oh, wow, it's like it's doing something. I can just make it do anything. Now, it's many billions, if not nearing $1 trillion industry. I think we are just getting started with what people 17 to 30 are going to do with their like worldview. People that are young, that have grown up with iPhones and iPads and internet, have always had the mindset towards making websites, making social media videos, using audio and video tools. I think that native tech, born into technology person is going to burst onto the scene with a lot of creativity. I think there's some cool stuff coming in 2025.
It's hard to imagine, right? We're growing up, Brad. What it would have been like if we had these tools.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
right. Excellent.
I guess if we return, we'll return on Boxing Day.
Yes. Yeah, let's do it. Look, let's do a 10-minute show at least, keep everybody updated on the latest, because right? You'd think leading up to Christmas. What day are we on for the Open AI 12 days? We didn't complete it yet, did we?
9 or 10. There was a Developers Day. Day 10 was ChatGPT, the telephone number, the developer day. They added search for everyone, projects and GPT. I mean, we could have looked at projects. I started to show projects.
Yeah.
Projects is a whole other show.
All
You
right.
showed
Yeah.
advanced voice mode. There's so much. It's new stuff literally every day. But there's 2 more days of OpenAI, Christmas.
Right. Yes. And I think, do you want to do an 8-hour AI show? I don't know. Maybe not. Don't get, but look, let's, we could, right? We could do 24 hours. I couldn't stay awake for it, but
I mean, we did 2 hours on Monday. You do an hour later today. We're already doing another 3 hours a week on this.
I know.
Could easily do double. Easily.
All right, brother. Good one.
Yeah, man. Thanks,
Have
everybody.
a great Christmas, everybody, or holiday, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. Just
That's
celebrate.
it.
All right.